This is my basic facial video number 11. And the first thing that we want to talk about is what's going to happen before the actual appointment starts. So all of this is done before the client arrives. We want to disinfect our workstation, the bed, the equipment by using a disinfectant wipe and following manufacturer's instructions. We're going to check our equipment to ensure that all devices are in safe working order and they're plugged into a working receptacle. We will gather clean supplies needed for the facial service, storing in a clean, closed container. We'll turn on the hot cabbie and stock with at least 3 clean, wet towels. More may be needed depending on the service and the client's needs. We will fill clean steamer glass with distilled water and preheat the steamer. We'll dispense products needed for the service according to the skin type and client's needs as follows. We will prepare disposable portion cups or trays for each product with a portion of the product by opening the top of the container and ensuring that the tip of the nozzle does not come into contact with the disposable portion cup or tray. Or we can remove the product with a disinfected or clean single-use spatula. And then close the lid to the product and set the portion cup or tray on our tray. We will want to drape the facial bed using a fitted sheet and a flat sheet and 3 towels. So we're going to place the clean laundered sheets down on our disinfected facial bed. We'll place one of the towels horizontally at the head of the bed, which I've done, and I'll go through all that in a minute. We will lay a hairnet and a headband on top of the first towel, along with a rolled towel to support the head and the neck of the client. We're going to save the third towel to lay across the décolleté. And so you're going to greet the client. Of course, your hands have already been cleansed before that. We're going to do it again in a minute. But when you meet with the client, you'll escort them to the work area, and you're going to determine the client's preferences. You will assess the client's needs, and then you will assess the client's skin by performing a visual skin analysis to ensure that there is no inflamed, infected, broken, raised, or swollen skin in the area to be worked on, or an open wound or sore in the area to be worked on, an infection or an infestation like lice to prevent from safely performing the service. We will assess the client's consultation form for any medications and products used within the last 72 hours. We're going to consult them on any known allergies. We will consult with the client on any facial surgeries within the last 3 months, and if the client is under a physician's care. We're going to assess if the client is prone to cold sores or fever blisters. We will assess if the client has used exfoliating or lightening agents within the last 72 hours, like alpha hydroxy acids, beta hydroxy acids, or hydroquinone. We always recommend SPF, and we will assess facial injections within the last 3 weeks, such as Botox or hyaluronic fillers. If the client is free from all of those contraindications, we will be able to move forward with the procedure. So once we've assessed and done all of that, we're going to get the client ready before we start, and then we have to wash our hands. So we have made our bed obviously ahead of time with the sheets, and then we give the client a drape and privacy to change. We help the client get into the bed and tuck them in. And then we have our towels here. So we have the one towel horizontal. We have a rolled towel that I'm going to place under the head and neck for comfort and support. I'm going to apply her headband to keep the hair out of the face. Hopefully this will stay on. It has not been staying on very well, but at least we're going to have it for setup here. And that will allow her hair to be back and out of the face and not to get any product or water on it. And then we have our third towel here for the décolleté that we're going to then apply there. And at this point, we can start, so we need to wash hands. So I'm gonna go over to the sink, pretend, and we're gonna turn the water on, and I'm gonna wet my hands, and then I'm gonna put a coin size amount of liquid hand soap, and I'm gonna wash my palms down to my wrists. And then I will wash the back of my hands down to my wrist. I will wash between my fingers and my fingers thoroughly. Making sure I'm doing the backs of my fingers, between my fingers and thumb, between those fingers, my fingertips and nails, my thumbs. And when we're interlocking and washing, we need to make sure that we're doing this for at least 20 to 30 seconds, washing our wrists. And then we'll thoroughly rinse off underneath the water. And once we have that proper rinse done, we will reach for a paper towel and we will turn off the water with that paper towel hand, dry our hands perfectly. And so when those hands are nice and dry, to finish your hand wash step, we will grab hand sanitizer, that's the final step, and sanitize our hands before we actually begin the basic facial procedure. Okay, so we are ready to begin. Now we do our first cleanse. Now we need to analyze the skin. So I'm going to cover up her eyes. And this is when I get my magnifying lamp. So I'm going to bring over my magnifying lamp and turn it on, and then I'm going to give her a good proper skin analysis. And so what I'm looking for at this point to see if she has any fine lines, some maybe flaky skin, freckling, excess sebum, abrasions, things that we talked about potentially when we first sat down that she's really looking for. And I'm really going to give it a minute here to really investigate, because it helps me not only with what I'm doing today, but also with follow up for her, like proper skincare, and also maybe some services or what her plan would be for aftercare or moving forward. So I really want to take a minute to analyze and get in there and see her skin actually looks really, really good. So happy about that, which means she's going to have great results for this basic facial today. And well, that's pretty much it. Gives me stuff to discuss after, etc. But once again, I think she looks really, really good. So once I feel like I have a good management of that, of what I see and what we're going to do and what I can recommend, then I can turn the light off and take it out of the way and then remove these cotton pads. So it's time for the second cleanse. Third and final cleanse. is nice and clean. Now we are going to tone. Skin looks gorgeous. Okay, after the toning process, it's time for an exfoliator. So we are going to use a little exfoliant. And we would be following manufacturer's instructions here based on the kind of exfoliant that we choose to. We will be massaging the exfoliant in for 1 to 2 minutes. Okay, and after you've done that, we actually will be retrieving our facial steamer. So we would retrieve the steamer and turn the steamer to the on position. And you're going to position the steamer next to the facial bed, but it's facing away from the client as the water heats up and emits an even outflow of mist. Once the steamer is emitting a mist, we're going to position the steamer 16 inches away and over from the, 16 inches away from the client, but facing the client and then over the client's face, aimed at the chin so that it can evenly distribute the mist to the whole face. And we're going to allow the unit to function for 3 to 5 minutes. Obviously we're doing a video, so I don't have a steamer. We're not going to do that. So just so that you know, you would do the steaming portion for 3 to 5 minutes. Then you would remove the steamer from the client's face, turn it off, or return the steamer to its previous location for disinfection. And then we would go in to remove the exfoliant. And we are going to use the steam towel method to remove the exfoliant. I don't have a cabbie here, but I'm going to pretend like I have a cabbie. So let me get the steam towel. So we get our steam towel and out of the cabbie and we open it up, and it's hot. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to check it on either wrist, and it feels good to me. So then I'm also going to check it on my client's like collarbone. She feels like it feels great as well. So I'm going to fold my towel, and then I'm going to come over and apply it to my client's face and neck. And I'm going to leave her nose out, of course, so that she can breathe. Now we've removed the exfoliant. So what we're going to do now is move to extractions. In order to do that, we have to apply disposable gloves. And there's a couple methods that you can use. You can use the cotton rounds between fingers and soaked in astringent, rather not dipped, soaked. Or you can use the wooden Q-tip, long wooden Q-tip method, also soaked in astringent, which is the method that I'm going to use. With the Q-tips, after every extraction, you have to toss them and get 2 new ones. And I'm super happy to say that my client doesn't need a lot of extractions. But if she did, that's okay. I would do it. I just want to make the note that I would not do it longer than 5 to 7 minutes, as it could be uncomfortable for the client to go that long. So I'm throwing those out. I'm getting 2 more. Soaked in astringent. do one more, and then she's good to go. Perfect. So I'm going to take off my disposable gloves and throw them away. And then we are going to tone. Beautiful. And the really good news is that after extraction comes the massage section. So after you have a little pain, you get a little good stuff. So that's really nice. So I am just preparing it. Let's do our massage. Just removing my massage product. Of course, her headband came off. Sure that's going to stay on anymore, but I'll try. Right after massage, she's asleep. Isn't that nice? We are going to apply mask. So in order to do that, we're going to use an implement, a beautiful fan brush. I've applied it carefully, avoiding the eye, nose, and mouth. And based on manufacturer's directions, you're going to allow the mask to set on the face and neck for 5 to 10 minutes. Once again, we are filming the video, so we won't be doing that. So the next thing that has to happen is that I'm going to remove the mask. So our timer has gone off for the mask, so we need to remove it. looks gorgeous. And after mask removal, we need to tone. So the skin is beautiful. Now we have to finish. We're going to take a little bit of eye cream. Tapping that eye cream on the zygomatic arch and the brow bone. And then it is overcast today. It's raining out, but we are going to use a moisturizer that has an SPF in it. Just in case the sun breaks out of the clouds, it's always good to have that option. So I want to apply her sunscreen moisturizer everywhere because I want her to, if anything's exposed today, I want to make sure that she's covered with her sunscreen. Might even apply a little bit to the ears if her ears would be out or she has shorter hair. Because we already discussed the importance of that. And that would be the end of my facial service. What I would do now is give the client privacy, let her remove her cape and get dressed, and then we would meet to discuss any follow-up and maintenance and aftercare. And then we get her checked out and out of here. And then we obviously have to go back and address our room. So all of our single use items are discarded. And then we're going to place any implements that we've used, for example, our fan brush that we played the mask on with. It will be in a closed container that's labeled to be disinfected. We're going to place the cape, the sheets, the towels, anything that was used into the closed container until laundered, into a closed container until laundered. And then our work area needs to be cleaned and disinfected. So we're going to identify proper cleaning agents and read the manufacturer's directions. We will follow the manufacturer's directions for mixing and usage. We'll wipe down our workstation and area with the cleaning solution to remove debris. We will identify disinfectant that is bactericidal, virucidal, and fungicidal, EPA approved for use in a salon setting. We'll follow manufacturer's directions for mixing and or using appropriate aerosol disinfectant. We will disinfect electrical equipment and then store it in a clean area that's separate from other implements. And then to finalize the facial, we have to re-wash our hands. So or finalize your day. So if you had gloves on, you would remove them at this point. And then you would turn on your running water, wet your hands, and then you get your coin size of liquid hand soap. You rub your hands together, washing down to the wrist, and then you rub the backs of your hands all the way down to the wrists. You are going to wash between each finger. We're going to wash each finger always. We're going to do the backs of the fingers, our fingertips and our nails, of course. We will interlock and wash under the water for a minimum of 20 to 30 seconds. We're going to go between the thumb and the fingers. We're going to wash the thumbs. We're going to definitely wash the wrist. And then we take the time to really rinse properly underneath the water so that it's a thorough clean. Once you feel you've rinsed, you grab a paper towel, you turn the water off with the paper towel hand, and then you dry your hands completely, making sure it's totally dry. And then once you're dry, you grab your hand sanitizer and you will go through the procedure with the hand sanitizer until everything is completely dry. You wash just like you did with your liquid hand soap. And when you feel like they're solid, you have officially completed what you need to do. So you can either go back to your room and start setting up with everything clean for your next client, or if that's end of day, then you are ready to go home and you'll be ready for your day tomorrow. So that ends video number 11, Basic Facial.